Look, I think that Alexander Usyk has achieved everything you can achieve in boxing. You know, two-time undisputed world heavyweight champion, undisputed cruiserweight champion. And he's thinking now in years to come when people look back on this modern era, and he has to box Deontay Wilder, who you know, has played a massive part in this era of boxing. And victory over Deontay Wilder would have cleaned up this era. So I totally understand him.
He's a bit of a unicorn, is Alexander Usyk in the heavyweight division, and that's kind of how I'm treating him now. He's given me everything that I wanted from him. He gave me 2 against Joshua, he gave me 2 against Fury, he gave me 2 against Dubois, and he delivered.
Wilder assertion is not in keeping with what Alexander Usyk represents. He gives fighters the best fights, he takes the best fights, he gets paid well for them because he's worth it, but this feels like I'm collecting a name for a distant time and maybe a check rather than collecting a legacy by beating all that's best around me and then leaving before maybe Moses Atoma arrives in serious nick.
I think it is off kilter from what we've experienced with Alexander Usyk in the past, but I think he's kind of earned that right.
Somebody could kill Wilder. The words echoed, a chilling prophecy from John Fury, Tyson's elder, a man steeped in boxing's brutal truths. This wasn't mere hyperbole, it was a dire warning, a profound concern for the safety of a legendary fighter whose recent performances had sparked global alarm. Fury's declaration cut through the usual fight hype, instantly turning controversy into a desperate plea. The boxing world paused, grappling with the unthinkable implications of such a blunt and devastating assessment. It was a bombshell dropped, not in a quiet corner, but right into the heart of the sport's most heated debate, leaving an unsettling silence in its wake. This was a direct challenge to the ethics of promoting a fight potentially fraught with such danger.
You know, he's not the same man, is he? He's not got a leg under him, God love him. You know, he's shot one, he's shot to pieces. What does a man like Usyk want to do that for? It's a liberty. It's a liberty. You know, just... You're the number 1 heavyweight in the world. There's plenty of other people deserve and have a chance to fight than Deontay Wilder. Leave Wilder out of it. Somebody in a minute's going to cause Deontay Wilder some serious injury. And going back to the AJ car crash, this can be just as dangerous and just as bad for Deontay Wilder. But it's camouflage better, isn't it? Just as dangerous. Somebody could kill Wilder. You know, it's terrible.
This terrifying warning, however, didn't come from nowhere. It stemmed directly from Deontay Wilder's recent alarming displays in the ring, performances that had stripped away the aura of invincibility. His once fearsome presence, built on explosive knockouts, had visibly dwindled. The aggressive, confident bronze bomber seemed to have been replaced by a hesitant fighter, one who struggled visibly to impose his renowned will. These were not minor blips, but stark, undeniable shifts in a veteran's capabilities, raising profound questions about his readiness for elite competition. The whispers about his condition began to turn into shouts, demanding serious answers from the boxing community.
He knows Deontay is a great puncher, but he knows Deontay is starting to fall off a little bit. He's fallen a lot from where he was. He trains with Russ Amber a lot. You know, Russ used to be with Deontay, and Russ and Deontay had a few issues too, so I'm sure he wants to go pound Deontay out for that.
He's beat Fury twice, he's beat Anthony Joshua twice, Daniel Dubois twice. He wants to be that guy of the modern generation. Whether people think he's finished or not finished, the bottom line is he's still a prominent figure in the heavyweight division.
He's still the brown bomber, and you need that brown bomber. It's like I tell people, when you think about the past in boxing, the past is built basically on mostly black fighters. Most of the great fighters were black. How many great black fighters did Floyd Mayweather fight in their prime? None. You want to be a guy that fought everybody that he could.
The decision lost to Joseph Parker served as a stark, undeniable indicator of Wilder's diminished state. In that bout, he looked a painful shadow of his former self, visibly struggling to unleash the devastating power that had defined his career. The fight painted a clear picture of a warrior seemingly unwilling, or perhaps tragically unable, to pull the trigger on his most potent weapon, the right hand that had put countless opponents to sleep. It exposed vulnerabilities previously unseen, leaving fans and pundits alike questioning if the true force of the Bronze Bomber was now a relic of the past. The defeat wasn't just a loss, it was a revelation of a once great fighter's fading prowess.
Wilder better go get that. Wilder better go get that. Wilder better go get that.
Call them out, Sue.
He gotta.
That's another opportunity.
But for real, Deontay gotta train. He gotta train for that, my nigga. Train for that. And don't skip leg day. No skipping leg day. Gotta hit leg day, all that, everything. Cause if he, I believe this, man. If Deontay Wilder go in there and get right, he can make that fight a more competitive, interesting fight than a lot of people expected. Trust me. Wilder still got something in there. He still could crack. See, remember, as long as you got that fucking right hand, that's the last thing to go. The last thing to go.
Even more unsettling than the Parker loss was the brutal fifth-round stoppage defeat suffered at the hands of Zhilei Zhang. This particular bout sent massive red flags flying high across the boxing landscape, raising grave concerns about Wilder's chin and overall durability. It wasn't just a defeat, it was a battering that looked physically punishing, leading many to openly question if the veteran's legendary resilience remained intact. The performance was a stark, almost agonizing watch, forcing experts to wonder if the warrior's spirit, or perhaps his physical capacity to withstand punishment, had finally been irrevocably compromised. Despite these deeply troubling setbacks and visible signs of decline, Wilder himself recently made a surprising claim. He stated he was feeling great and even suggested he was still in his prime, a declaration that was quickly met with widespread skepticism. This statement, often paraphrased in media discussions, struck many as a profound and concerning delusion. The stark contrast between his self-assessment and the stark reality of his recent ring performances simply couldn't be ignored, igniting a heated debate about a fighter's self-perception versus objective reality. The claims only fueled further concerns about his judgment, both inside and outside the ring. Amidst the swirling doubts and the unsettling warnings about Wilder's condition, Alexander Usyk, the reigning undisputed heavyweight champion, delivered a truly unexpected bombshell. He publicly expressed a keen interest in facing the struggling American knockout artist. This surprising move came right after Usyk's dominant performance against Daniel Dubois, a fight where the Ukrainian showcased an unexpected, chilling heavyweight stopping power that many critics previously believed he lacked. Usyk's choice instantly became the most controversial topic in boxing, turning skepticism into outright contumacy for many observers of the sport. The talk quickly transformed into tangible action. Usyk's manager Aegis Klimas provided concrete confirmation that negotiations were in fact well underway for a potential showdown in April or May. This wasn't merely speculation. The fight was rapidly moving toward becoming a reality. Klimas even revealed ambitious plans for a multi-fight deal, strategically designed to include the Wilder confrontation taking place on American soil. This detailed strategic vision clearly indicated that Usyk's team saw more than just a single fight. They envisioned a broader plan for market expansion and legacy building, making the entire situation even more intriguing for fans. Usyk's decision to pursue this fight is undeniably a calculated strategic play, extending far beyond the immediate prize. It aligns perfectly with his stated goal of competing only 2 or 3 more times before stepping away from the sport for good. This carefully planned maneuver allows him to simultaneously establish a significant and lucrative presence in the American boxing market, a crucial move for post-retirement financial security and global recognition. For Usyk, it's not just about winning, it's about cementing a lasting legacy while maximizing his financial return on a storied career. As explained by Dave Allen, a boxer who has trained alongside Usyk and experienced his abilities firsthand through sparring sessions, defeating Wilder would effectively allow the champion to complete the set. With undisputed victories over Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, and Tyson Fury already etched into his record, adding Wilder's name would mean Usyk has conquered every major heavyweight of this generation. It's about leaving no doubt, no major name unchecked. This final piece would solidify his place as the definitive, era-defining king before he contemplates his exit from professional boxing. Yet, not everyone views Usyk's motivation as purely about legacy or sporting accomplishment. A critical perspective suggests that Usyk's pursuit of Wilder feels less like a true championship challenge against the absolute best, and more akin to collecting a name for a distant time and maybe a check. This interpretation raises uncomfortable questions about commercial interests potentially overshadowing competitive integrity. It paints a picture of a champion carefully selecting opponents for reasons beyond pure sporting prowess, sparking a controversial debate about what truly drives the sport's elite fighters in their twilight years. Tyson Fury, a man intimately familiar with both Usyk and Wilder, offered a purely commercial lens on the situation. The Gypsy King explained that Usyk is unlikely to fight mandatory challengers because there's simply no significant commercial sense or substantial money to be made in those matchups. For a champion operating at Usyk's elite level, it's fundamentally about getting that bag and getting out, maximizing financial returns rather than engaging in tough, lower-profile fights for minimal paydays. Fury's candid insight peeled back the curtain, revealing the harsh economic realities that often drive high-stakes boxing decisions. From Deontay Wilder's perspective, this sudden, unexpected opportunity is nothing short of a jackpot. After several years of minimal activity, punctuated by concerning performances, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world now actively wants to fight him. This represents an astonishing, potentially career-reviving chance. It offers Wilder a last grand opportunity to reclaim championship glory, silence the growing legion of doubters, and secure a substantial payday, likely the biggest of his later career. For a fighter whose prime seemed to be fading, this is an incredible, almost miraculous turn of events. Roy Jones Jr., a legendary figure in his own right, provided a more nuanced analysis of Usyk's motivations. He acknowledged that Usyk likely recognizes Wilder as beginning to decline, showing obvious signs of aging and wear. However, Jones stressed that Usyk simultaneously understands the immense value of adding another prominent, universally recognized name to his already stellar legacy. It's a pragmatic calculation, a chance to bolster his historical standing without necessarily taking on the absolute toughest, freshest challenger available. This strategic balance reveals a champion thoughtfully managing his final career moves. Crucially, Roy Jones Jr. delivered a powerful reminder that fighters with legitimate one-punch knockout power can land their decisive blow at any moment, regardless of age, recent form, or apparent decline. If Wilder can hit you, Jones emphasized, Wilder can put you down. This inherent, ever-present danger keeps the puncher's chance very much alive for the Bronze Bomber, despite all the other concerns surrounding his current condition. It means Usyk, for all his skill, can never afford a moment's lapse in concentration against such a formidable, if fated, power threat. Tony Billow, a former cruiserweight champion who actually faced Usyk in the ring, forcefully echoed this critical sentiment. Billow declared his genuine belief that Wilder remains the single biggest puncher in boxing, possessing more raw power in one shot than anyone else in the entire sport. He stressed that even if Wilder appears gun-shy or shot, that devastating right hand is the very last attribute a puncher truly loses. This unwavering power makes the fight inherently risky for Usyk, despite the perceived minimal competitive reward it might offer from a purely sporting standpoint. In stark contrast to the warnings of danger and the nuanced interpretations, Lennox Lewis, the last undisputed heavyweight champion before Usyk, delivered his verdict with supreme confidence in the Ukrainian's overwhelming superiority. Speaking with conviction, Lewis predicted an easy night for Usyk, stating unequivocally that the champion is way too skilled to lose that fight. For the British legend, Usyk's unparalleled technical mastery and tactical brilliance make the outcome almost inevitable, suggesting that the fight's biggest intrigue lies not in its result, but in how quickly Usyk might dispatch his opponent. This potential bout, regardless of its controversial aspects, undoubtedly represents a fascinating clash of fundamentally opposing styles. It pits the division's most complete, technically brilliant modern heavyweight, Alexander Usyk, against a fading but still explosively dangerous puncher in Deontay Wilder. It is a direct confrontation of control, precision, and technical mastery against pure chaos and explosive, raw, one-shot power. This stylistic dichotomy promises an intriguing spectacle, a true test of whether meticulous skill can definitively neutralize the ever-present threat of a single devastating knockout blow. History, however, strongly suggests that Usyk has already solved far more complex and difficult problems than what a diminished Wilder presents. The Ukrainian champion has not only outboxed, but also outlasted the much larger, heavier, and notoriously awkward Tyson Fury, not once, but twice. Furthermore, he recently demonstrated genuine heavyweight-level stopping power against Daniel Dubois. This impressive track record points to Usyk's incredible adaptability, his elite problem-solving capabilities, and an uncanny ability to nullify diverse threats, painting a picture of a fighter who has repeatedly overcome superior physical challenges. Offering a glimmer of hope for Wilder's prospects, Zab Judah provided crucial training advice. The legendary fighter emphasized that for the Bronze Bomber to make this bout competitive, he He needs to approach his preparation with absolute, unwavering dedication. Judah specifically highlighted the paramount importance of not neglecting legwork and ensuring every single aspect of his conditioning reaches peak, optimal levels. He genuinely believes that if Wilder truly commits to getting right physically, he possesses the inherent power to make the fight a far more competitive and interesting spectacle than many experts currently anticipate. Yet, the harsh reality of age and its impact on elite athletes remains a significant, undeniable factor. At 35 years old, as many boxing veterans will attest, it becomes incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to truly teach an old dog new tricks. While Wilder might attempt to recalibrate his style or approach, the sheer demands of profound change at this stage of his career present an enormous hurdle. Many seasoned professionals believe that once a fighter hits that age mark, their ingrained habits and physical limitations make fundamental stylistic overhauls profoundly unlikely to yield success against a prime champion. Usyk, at 38 years old, has openly indicated his intention to fight only 2 or 3 more times before retiring from the sport completely. This self-imposed timeline strongly reinforces the notion that the potential Wilder bout is less about seeking the absolute toughest current challenge in the heavyweight division. Instead, it appears to be a highly strategic move, a calculated opportunity to add another prestigious, globally recognized name to his already formidable record, while simultaneously maximizing his final earnings and solidifying his legacy before hanging up his gloves for good. For Usyk, securing a victory over Deontay Wilder would effectively allow him to clean up and definitively close out this entire modern heavyweight era. It would cement his unparalleled place as the undisputed king who has conquered every significant name from this generation. Having defeated Joshua, Fury, and Dubois, adding Wilder to that list would leave no lingering doubts, no major omissions about his absolute dominance. This final conquest would provide a sense of ultimate closure to his remarkable run through the division before he contemplates his well-earned departure from the brutal world of professional boxing. As the intense negotiations continue and the heavyweight landscape relentlessly evolves, this proposed fight represents vastly different things to all involved. For Usyk, it's a strategic quest for legacy completion and crucial market expansion. For Wilder, it's potentially his absolute last improbable opportunity to reclaim championship glory and stun the multitude of doubters. For the entire division and the global fan base, it will either confirm what many already suspect about Wilder's profound decline, or in a shocking, brutal reminder, prove once again that power, indeed, is the very last thing to go. The stakes couldn't be higher.